Young Prince Charles. Prince Charles was just 3 years old when he became heir to the throne when his mother became queen at only 25 years of age. As heir to the throne, much was expected of him. He attended a pre-preparatory school followed by boarding school at Cheam School in Berkshire, and then Gordonston in Scotland. A young family. Elizabeth started to stand in for George VI at public events as his health declined. While Elizabeth and Philip were traveling to Kenya in 1952, she received news of the king's death and had to return home to begin her accession to the throne. She was crowned in June 1953. The Queen's coronation. Queen Elizabeth II's coronation in 1953 was the first ceremony that was broadcast on live television in color. A special effort was made to stage an impressive event, and it enhanced the popularity of the monarchy and television enormously. It took 14 months to prepare, and around 20 million people in the UK watched it on television. Where's home going to be? Before the coronation, Princess Elizabeth and the Duke of Edinburgh moved into Clarence House in 1949, and they lived there during the early years of their marriage. In 1953, after the death of her father, King George VI, the newly crowned Queen Elizabeth moved from Clarence House to Buckingham Palace with her husband and 2 small children, although they tried to keep Buckingham as office only. That didn't work out. The young Queen. Queen Elizabeth II became the monarch of the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Pakistan, and Ceylon on June 2, 1953. She ascended the throne following the death of her father. The ceremony took place more than a year after the king passed away, so the family could first mourn the loss. Otherwise, it would have been considered inappropriate. Christmas with the Queen. Queen Elizabeth's Christmas speech is broadcast to the Commonwealth of Nations on television and radio every year, and the internet as well in recent years. Here she is with her 2 younger sons, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, on Christmas of 1971. The Windsors in Balmoral. The castle of Balmoral in Scotland is beloved by the Queen as a refuge from the public eye, and the family often spends their holidays and Christmases there, as Queen Victoria did. This family photo shows the young family enjoying a summer vacation there. The castle, surrounded by its large estate, is family-owned and not a public property. The Queen's daughter. Princess Anne is Queen Elizabeth's second child and her only daughter. Inheriting her mother's love of horses, she competed very successfully at the highest level in equestrian events and was a member of the British Olympic equestrian team in 1976. She is known for her charitable work and is patron to around 200 charities. The only daughter. As her only daughter, Princess Anne has always enjoyed a special relationship with the Queen. Women's issues are incredibly important to Princess Anne. Her main focus continues to be on empowering women through female education and entrepreneurship. The reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Elizabeth has been queen for more than 64 years and is the oldest reigning monarch in the world. During her reign, the world, Britain and the monarchy have undergone huge changes. The popularity of the monarchy has waned over the years but has received a boost from her grandchildren's generation of royals. The Royal Tube. The Queen officially opened Victoria Underground Railway line in 1969. This event was special because it was the very first time a member of the royal family used public transport. The televised event was watched by millions. In 2019, the new Elizabeth line, named after the Queen, will start operating in London. The Queen's tour to Bahrain. Queen Elizabeth's tour of the Middle East in 1979 showed her great ability as a diplomat and monarch. Although beset with many potential difficulties, her tour of 6 Gulf countries was considered an outstanding success. Her famous love of horses may have provided a common interest with the leaders of those countries. Here she chats with the Emir of Bahrain. Meeting the Spice Girls. Even celebrities want to meet the Queen. Here the Queen chats to the Spice Girls backstage after their performance for the Royal Variety Show at the London Palladium in 1997 with Michael Bolton looking on. The Yachting Queen. HMY Britannia was the royal yacht from 1953 till 1997. It could be used as a hospital ship in time of war, but never was. The luxury liner was much loved by the royal family. The Queen has hosted many celebrities and world leaders on board. Today the yacht is a popular tourist attraction in Leith, near Edinburgh. A Lost Empire. Queen Elizabeth visited India with Prince Philip in 1961. It was the first official tour by a British monarch since India's independence from Britain in 1947. Also included in the trip were Pakistan, which separated from India. The Queen toured India again in 1983 and 1997, as have other royals, including a recent visit by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. The Queen's Corgis. The Queen has owned more than 30 corgis over the years. She was given her first one when she was 10. She presently owns 5 corgis, alongside 5 Cocker Spaniels and Span, and 4 Dorgus Dachs and Corgi Mix. Despite the luxurious lifestyle, various members of staff have been bitten by them over the years. The Queen meets the Pope. The Queen is also the head of the Church of England, which made her meeting with Pope John Paul II in October 1980 particularly interesting. She was the first ever British monarch in history to visit the Vatican. The Pope later described the visit as warm and relaxed. The Pope visited the UK in 1982. Reagan rides with the Queen. The Queen has seen 12 US presidents come and go during her reign. Ronald Reagan made an official visit to Great Britain in June 1982. While on his trip, Reagan visited Windsor Castle, one of the Queen's residencies. They both share a love of horses, so a horse ride was inevitable. The Queen in China. Elizabeth and Philip made an official state trip together to China in October 1986. The visit was extremely symbolic since no other members of the British royal family has ever toured the country. The Queen's family life. Queen Elizabeth has always been very careful to maintain her regal persona as a public figure, but it seems from pictures that she and her husband Prince Philip had a very relaxed family life. She cares deeply for her family and keeps the life very private. Her family has survived more than their share of storms over the years. Baby William. Prince Charles married Lady Diana Spencer in 1981 and their first child, William, was born the following year. Even though their marriage was in trouble, Princess Diana became the darling of the world and has caused the monarchy to review its role in the modern world. Today, Prince William and his wife Kate are very popular. Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe for more stories.